Hello and welcome to Old Faithful. Same shirt, different hat. We are doing them two at a time here in preparation for the rally. This will probably come out about the time of the rally. My thanks, as always, every other week to Perfect Wave Productions. Scott and Steve down here at Perfect Wave Productions making me look good on camera. Please support my friends at Black Hills Blend Espresso. Even though we're not featuring it on the show right now, they're now reopened at 3 locations in Rapid City. They might not make you happy, but they will make you caffeinated. I'm super excited. I just met this guy for real, Mr. Taylor Anderson. Did I say your name right?
You absolutely did. Yeah,
okay.
Well done.
And we have an acoustic guitar. I'm just going to let you go ahead and tell us about you and your guitar.
All right, well, this is my Fender T-Bucket. I've had this for about 3 or 4 years now. It's a little beat up. It's got some parts that need replaced. It's got a piezo electric pickup sitting under the saddle here. The saddle definitely needs to get replaced. The nut's all plastic, needs to be replaced. I just put elixirs on it for the first time. Instead of using Earthwoods,
right.
Or I believe the other ones I was using were Diodrios. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not.
Diodario.
Yeah, Diodario. There you go. Yeah, exactly. So I just got these on here. Elixirs. I'm liking the sound of them. They're real crisp, real clean, real clear sort of tone. So I've spent the last couple years getting fine-tuning the action in and everything and getting it right where it sounds just about as best as it can. But I think it's almost time to retire. She's got some stains on her. She's got like a spot of super glue from when I was doing some work. Unfortunately, right above her, so I'm gonna have to buff that out eventually if I'm ever gonna sell it. Yeah, we're just
pretty good.
Yep, just hanging up at some point.
Why don't you tell us about your musical journey and/or where and how you found your Fender T-Bucket?
Well, my musical journey started a long time ago. My dad is actually a musician, and he's been playing the Black Hills area with Scott Gooch, matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
Way long ago in a band called Dick Burns. My dad did backup harmony vocals, stand-up percussion with like congas and bongos and stuff like that. And so my brother was also a musician. He's 5 years older than me. In high school, he started on drums started on guitar, switched to drums, and I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. Your older brother's always the coolest guy ever, right?
I wouldn't know. I'm the oldest. Continue.
Yeah, exactly. So
I always thought I was the coolest, actually. So you're right.
Then you get it exactly. Yeah, I was the youngest of 2. He was 5 years older than me, and so very early on, at about 11, 12 years old, I bought my first used. An ESP LTD EC50.
Oh, wow.
With all silver body. Yeah, it was just beautiful. I was still making an allowance back then, so every week I'd get $10 or whatever and immediately put down a down payment on this guitar. And I think it only took like 3 weeks to pay off $180. I never got more motivated for anything. So, flash forward, I'm living in Rapid City, and I know a little bit on guitar, nothing great, but my dad's playing a show with his band. They graciously enough invite me on stage. I play a couple cover songs with them, do my own thing, go back the next year and get on stage with them again at the Firehouse at an all-ages show in downtown Rapid here. And then just kind of progressed from there, kept practicing and doing little open mic nights and shows and Battle of the Bands like up in Sturgis with Drake Leach, actually. We did that 2 years in a row. And then more and more shows, more work, more practice, things like that, and doing work with all sorts of local bands and stuff like that, and solo stuff, and open mic nights wherever I can, and also doing karaoke around the circuit around here. And then flash forward to about last year, I heard my friend Alex Nold on the radio talking about doing like promo stuff for the Art Center up in Sturgis. And I thought that was really cool because Alex and I used to go to Stage Barn in 6th grade together. He was like one of my best friends back then. I moved away to Montana, came back, and then we reconnected and started doing music again about a couple months before this time last year. And so we've just been doing shows and writing original music and recording stuff and working on big conceptual parts, and we basically have our first album down, and we're already thinking about the second one, and just putting in the studio work, man, and playing as many shows as we can.
Back to this guitar. So we have a laminate maple top.
Yep, exactly.
Is this a very bright guitar?
It's pretty bright, honestly. Most guitars have way more of a bass and bass mid tones than this one has, which I kind of like because I do a lot of lead work as well, and even when I'm doing solo stuff, I try and balance rhythm chords and a little bit of lead work in there as well. So yeah, it does have a pretty bright tone, and even if it doesn't, I have a pretty basic bass mid and treble knobs on the side there, like pretty much standard. I'll probably drop the mid a little bit, bring up that treble just a slight bit, depending on what we're about to do. Like if I'm playing by myself, I leave most of them about halfway point. But doing Beneath the Sky Down Yonder stuff with Alex Nold, I turn it up just a little on the treble side. Okay, so I get a little bit more of that brightness.
And you guys kind of trade rhythm and lead in Beneath the Sky Down Yonder.
Exactly. It's a very improvisational sort of feel, and we just wait till a bridge part or after a verse or something. We kind of look at each other like, "You want to take this?"
Right.
Go ahead. I mean, it's very, very loose sort of feel, and just whatever the other person's feeling, and it's just really, really improvisational. Which we really like because that means every show is a little bit different. You're never really going to see the same thing twice. You might hear the same song at two different shows, but we try and do it in different ways every time we're playing.
Right.
There's no solo that's written. You know? It's just whatever happens to come out.
Just wing it. Do you like the concert body shape inside?
Yes, I really, really do. I think this is just about the biggest body that I can handle. Anything more than that, and I feel like it's a little too bulky, and I can't really get around it so much. But with this one, like I'm not really a stickler for any sort of brand name or anything. I look for tone. My last one was a really nice quilted maple top Ibanez that I really enjoyed, but didn't have near as much of the little extras and whatnot. So, yeah, well, I love the style though.
For musicians kind of in our tier, we don't want to spend too much for our practical concerns.
Yeah, I've never really spent more than $300 on an acoustic. Work on that, something for an intro or something with some little leads.
That did lead to my next question. Do you guys sometimes play in alternate tunings? And apparently the answer is yes.
We do. So the thing with the slide guitar in the studio was kind of a offhand, just like I think we were drinking some beers in there, and I had a glass beer bottle, and I just kind of slid it along. You know, fun thing. Yeah. People always do, especially in bars. And we were like, hey, that might actually work for this next song. And so we actually tried it out. But for our one song, Share This Ground, we actually drop our B string down to an A and do some kind of funky open chord sort of stuff, and then it also gets incorporated into some solo aspects of that song. So we don't really do any alternate tunings other than that. Like there was one cover song we did where we did drop D at some point, but then I think we stopped doing that. But on Share This Ground, definitely we dropped that B string down to an A, and it gives almost that feel of like open tuning, like open slide. Very, very close to the feel.
So, two more questions. How is this guitar with holding tuning in general?
Not bad, actually. It holds up pretty well. I mean, you were talking about the gentleman with the elixir strings who break strings pretty often. I break strings pretty often. I strum pretty hard. It's usually the high E to go first. My strings last me not as long as they do most people. But as far as holding the tune, it does really, really well. I can, leave it somewhere that isn't temperature controlled very well and understand like, oh, it got pretty cold, under the AC or something, come back to it and it holds up very, very well. Yeah, $300.
Was it made in China?
I'm actually not sure. I haven't ever looked. I'm assuming it is, or at least wasn't made in America because it didn't cost $1,500.
Sure, but that $300 used to not get you much.
Yeah, exactly.
The equivalent would have been like in the 80s too, I suppose. And then my first guitar, you could have stuck a ham sandwich in between the strings and the fretboard.
That's funny.
And that's not the case. You can get a quality guitar that you can gig with. Do you experience any feedback with this guitar?
Nope.
Or anything?
Nope. I've been really, really lucky with how many close calls I've had dropping it and stuff like that. And sometimes I have dropped it, banging around on stage, stuff like that. Because I have had it for 3 or 4 years now. Yeah, I don't experience any issues with the electronics or everything.
Sure.
It sits really, really nice and well.
You drink a few beers at a recording session, you might drop a guitar.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's bound to happen once or twice. Or, we've all been there. We're playing and we're holding, and then the strap comes off the bottom, and you have to catch it in the middle there. Yeah.
Don't you hate that?
Yep. Oh, constantly.
Yeah. Right.
It's like a mini panic attack every time it happens. Like you have to sit down and let the adrenaline go for a second.
Yeah.
That's another reason I couldn't have like a $1,000 Taylor guitar or something like that.
Well, we'll work into it. Never say never.
Look at that. Okay, I guess someday.
You'll be there someday.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on my show and bringing the Humboldt County hat.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me.
Let's see. Remember my sponsorship with Trask Hay LLC. Do you have any cows or horses?
I can't say I do.
Oh, well, okay. But you could remember in case you buy a cow this year. They're really cheap this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyway, remember my sponsorship with Trask Hay LLC. Large, round, and square bales. 515-0858. Dave Matthews says, change your strings. Are you ready?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Taylor Anderson.
Sometimes with promises can be just words. I don't know if that's what I'm believing, it's what I've heard. And I hope that you're different, and I have yet to learn. But I'll still be giving chances in the seconds and thirds. I know you felt, and I know you've heard, and I know that you've knelt and cried alone in the dirt. And I spent forever living in a disguise, but you taught me how to smile. Now with my face, but with my eyes. You say you've been lost and confused repeatedly, but honestly I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to mean. And there are so many things that I wish you could see, but most of all I hope that you could find some peace with me. Now I know you felt, and I know you've heard, and I know that you've knelt and cried alone in the dirt. And I spent forever living in a disguise, but you taught me how to smile. And now with my face, with my eyes, with my eyes, oh, I know you then, and I know you heard, and I know that you know, and got alone in the dirt. And I spent forever living in a disguise, but you taught me how to smile. Now with my face, with my eyes. And it's getting harder to pretend I'm fine. And I kept my promise. You changed your mind.